All right, man, let's talk about Zion Williamson, which he could be on the move. Um, we know how Troy Weaver kind of like the refurbished guys. Um, we know possibly that pick could fall out the top, three. Obviously, they could drop no lower than 5. Jaylen Brown is a name that's been thrown out there. They've yet to be able to get an interview with Ime Udoka, and I think that's not by mistake. I'm not sure if that's by a lack of effort, but I do think they penalized Ime Udoka. He may never coach in the league again. So that's something to think about for a minute. He may never coach in the league again. And you just start thinking about other guys that's perhaps can be out there for them. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, both could be on the move. Never know. Golden State can move Kuminga, Moody. So it's a plethora of guys that literally could be on the move this offseason via trade, signing trade. Kristaps Porzingis, like it or not, Rudy Gobert could be on the move again. Let's focus on Zion Williamson. Obviously, is there a big difference in Detroit and New Orleans? Yeah, it is. New Orleans is still recovering. But great eateries, not far from Houston. A lot of water, hot. I know, honestly, I don't know why he not really. I guess it ain't the market you really want to be in. I think he trying to get to New York, quite frankly. Maybe LA. I think those are places he's trying to get. So anytime you do a crapshoot like that, especially with Jaylen Brown, you have to pay him. Zion is already paid. You just want to know if he want to be here or not. And obviously, my thing is if he didn't want to be in New Orleans, I'm not sure he want to be in Detroit. Now, he was going around shopping in Detroit when they came here this year. He didn't play. He was at the Iowa Sign store. I seen some videos, some pictures surface. And I know a lot of people would love, the idea of him and Cunningham and what he would bring to the team. You tell me from an ideal fit, would it fit? Then that becomes interesting then. It becomes an interesting fit. Then you may need to get a center that can stretch it out at that point. Him and Durant to be dynamic on the inside together, and then you just have to get better shooting from IVK and whoever is your small forwards you bring in. They would have to be routine knockdown shooters, and that's kind of the issue there. That's one of the issues that'd be there. What you did kind of go more to Wiseman, maybe could he shoot the ball a little bit better and do something with Durant. It's a lot of questions to be asked there, but I just think he need to go somewhere that he want to be. The question is, the places that he want to be, do they want him? Julius Randle's been phenomenal this year. He had his hiccups last year with the Knicks, kind of butting heads with Thibodeau and all that stuff. But you gotta ask yourself, do we want to be there? Do we want to be there? And if he want to be there, Julius Randle, do you want to break that up? It's $1 million question. Do you want to break that up? And get Zion, and you probably sip out Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppins, a bunch of picks, and you'll be building your team around Jalen Brunson and Zion Williamson. For the Pistons, obviously if you get a pick, let's say you in the top 3 and Miller and Walla Banana go 1 and 2, Victor go 1, Miller go 2, and you like, man, I can't even do shit with Scoot Henderson. I'm not willing to move on from Ivy and Cade, and I don't think they all 3 could play together. Then what do? You take the pick and you say, you go to pick Zion Williamson. We match up some salaries here and there, and that's what I could do for y'all. And David Griffin has been atrocious in the draft lottery. I like Kira Lewis coming out, but he had the ACL injury. Jackson Hayes hasn't materialized. So, I mean, as much as they want to, cross their fingers and hope it works, and sometimes you got to give them a change of scenery. And the NBA is a players' league. Now, if you want to come to Detroit and you believe it, and it ain't the last place destination, obviously you got to knock on the door and see what it is. But obviously with the other options you got out there, as per se they would say they ship that pick to Brooklyn. Get a couple picks back, get Cam Johnson, get Mikal Bridges too, see what you can do there, maybe. If you get the pick, Jaylen Brown and some, I ain't mad at it. So, I mean, they got some options out there. They can help facilitate some shit too. So, but everybody will be hyped. But they obviously you can make it work with Zion Williamson. You just gotta really at that 3 spot. You gotta get a knockdown shooter, and Cade and Ivy gonna have to shoot the ball a lot better. Space the floor a lot better for him, but. Really, when you think about it, I don't really think the kid worth the hassle. I think the best place for him is to be where he want to be and hopefully get the most out of it. I just think it's a lost cause. People say, well, his body is, it's not compatible with his athletic ability. I mean, remember Draymond Green was 330 pounds as a high schooler. Draymond Green, from when he, got out of high school and graduated or left Michigan State for the NBA, look at his body. He worked on his body. And the thing about Draymond, guess what? That he was able to keep the weight off. If Draymond is able to keep that weight off. If Draymond can do it, look how big Draymond was in high school. If Draymond can do it and transform his body, why can't Zion Williamson do it? Why can't Zion Williamson? You got the best doctors, you got the best dietitians, nutritionists, physical fitness. Zion need to be around, right now, around 250, 240, 250. That's where he need to be. And what people don't understand, too, about that is as you get older, your bone density, your bones get more dense. You get that grown man strength. You get that real grown man strength. So you're gonna get naturally more thicker. So yeah, he need to be around 245, 250, 240 and maintain it. You know what I'm saying? And you just maintain it with, it's hard to keep it off because people fall into old habits. But I just think visually, you hear Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about, how he visualized certain things and he's a visual learner. I mean, for him, just visually, coming up with some rules about what he need to do as far as eating. Just coming up with rules. Okay, we're not going to eat no potato chips, no junk food. I substitute, potato chips. Once I'm going to get the weight, I substitute it for apple or pita chips. I'm saying? If I do eat out, I don't eat fast food. When I do eat out, okay, I cut my meals from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day. When I do eat out, it's good shit. It's not fast food. It's, I'm saying? If I say I'm gonna eat out this weekend, guess what? I'm gonna work out too. So just little things like that. So it is what it is. I don't really think it's worth the risk. I'd rather just roll the ball. If I did fall there and I had to take Scoot Henderson to somebody else, I'd take the risk of just drafting a young rookie. And just developing them before I put any stock in Zion Williamson. He really had to convince me that, something was wrong in New Orleans and that he wanted to be in Detroit. He had to convince that. I think he wanted to be in New York or LA like most players do. And, and wish him nothing but the best. But he got one of very few jobs in the NBA. And wherever you at, you got to make the most of it. At one point, it wasn't no free agency. him pouting and crying and not wanting to be there, it's just tell you new age parenting. And the parents are enabling that. And people get Kawhi passed because he quiet. But Kawhi then got out of two situations. He bitched and complained to get out of San Antonio, didn't want to be there. Toronto was good to him, didn't want to be there. And he should have stayed in Toronto, regardless. The city would have been his. And now you go to a cursed franchise that ain't got shit coming to him. No matter how y'all feel about how game one went. Game one ain't indicative of nothing. Remember, Toronto lost game one when he won the championship that year to Orlando. Still went on to win the championship, so it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Let me know what you guys think about the Zion Williamson thing, possibly. I know Jaylen Brown thing could be the more attractive thing, but hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere from Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Peace.